Well, hello everyone, and welcome into this edition of Casino Talk. Yes, it seems like talk about the casino, boy, it's a never-ending situation, and there's more that's going on right now involving a potential casino for Fort Wayne, Indiana. Now, we all remember that many months back there was a plan for a casino in New Haven, Indiana. You remember that? Rising Sun wanted to move their casino from the southern part of the state to New Haven, and we're going to spend $500 million. Put in the casino, city was going to get a lot of money, everybody was going to get a boatload of money, but nobody in Allen County put a bill in or filed anything that says, hey, we're supporting this. Not one politician. Finally, it took a politician from Huntington to put a bill on the floor in the House to say, hey, I'm interested in a casino for Allen County. Well, the bill went down to Indy, to the hearing down there, and the committee that heard it, the head of the committee said, nah, we're not going to listen to this bill. We're going to see about appointing some special commission, and they'll decide where to put a casino for Rising Sun for when they move. All right, that was in the early part of Casino Talk. Well, since that time, yes, they did appoint a special commission, a third party, if you will, whose job it was to search out venues in the state for this new casino, moving the Rising Sun to a different city. Came up with 4 locations. One was Auburn, Indiana. Another one was the east side of the state of Indiana. And one was up near Lafayette. And the fourth was downtown Indianapolis. Well, you can imagine the thrills that were going on through people's spines throughout the state, thinking, hey, we can get a casino. Well, people up in Auburn said, well, they got a problem up there because the casino up in South Bend, the Indian casino's got a special, a territory, exclusive territory. Can't build or do anything inside that area. Auburn is right next to that area. Could be a problem. And eastern Indiana, well, that wasn't going to work. Lafayette had the same problem. But boy, the perfect location, as it turned out, was Indianapolis. Woohoo! And there's a Circle Center Mall downtown Indianapolis that is closing down. Used to be a great mall, wonderful mall, huge mall. Had interconnecting walkways over the city, over the street, so you can get the hotels to the mall. Huge parking area. It was a perfect location for a mall, but unfortunately it didn't work. And the mall owners threw all the people out effective the end of this month. The mall will be empty. They're saying, we're going to spend $500 million to make the mall something really cool again. We're going to create something really new. $500 million, same amount of money that said that you're going to do that casino. So, well, now the word was, hey, they're going to build that probably down in Indianapolis. Rising Sun going to Indy, because Indy has professional basketball, women's professional basketball. They've got NFL football. They've got NCAA things. They've got AAA baseball. They've got everything down there. And a downtown casino would be the smartest thing to put down downtown Indy. Okay, fine. Well, then suddenly, the mayor of Fort Wayne, Indiana, Sharon Tucker, goes, no. I want a casino. And guess what? She marches down to Indianapolis, that same committee that turned down the one for New Haven. She's sitting there going, we need it. Well, the Senate Bill 1 is taking away our property taxes, so we got to have money, so we need a casino. And lo and behold, members of the Chamber of Commerce, Greater Fort Wayne as they call them, came down there and said, yeah, we agree. Suddenly, people here in the city, the mayor, Chamber said, yeah, we want a casino. And then another bill was introduced. You see, S70 was for the Rising Sun to move, but that new bill that Sharon Tucker was proposing, House Bill 1038, I believe it is, said, we want a brand new licensed casino. We want to increase the number of casinos from Indiana from I believe it is, to like 14. So we want to have a brand new casino to come to Fort Wayne. Yeah, you can build the Indy one, that's perfectly fine, but we need a casino because we need money. And she was down there, and the committee goes, hey, that's a good idea. Let's pass that. So now, well, we're looking at a potential casino. But here's the question I want to ask. When the New Haven was going on, when New Haven was talking about getting a casino, there was a cry, a hue from many people in Allen County saying, we demand a vote. We demand a referendum whether we should have gambling in Allen County. A referendum must be held. And that was the word. Now, it never happened because obviously the casino never happened. But now with the mayor, she doesn't want a referendum. No, didn't want a referendum. So here's my call. Now, we've got some excellent radio stations in this town, especially probably one of the best news talk stations, probably in the state, and believe it or not, probably in America. And their host, she does a fabulous job of interviewing politicians because she has every politician you could think on her program. Wonderful. I believe that she should ask every one of these politicians, namely the mayor, the commissioners, one simple question. Are you going to allow a referendum to turn what people want? Will the public be able to vote on whether they want a casino? Yes or no, congressman? Yes or no, mayor? Yes or no, commissioner? Ask each one of them, will they allow a referendum? That's all I think. If they're going to say it's good for the goose in New Haven, is it good for the gander in Fort Wayne? Just something I'm asking about. And then finally, let's go into this. Where can they locate a casino? Because it has to be in the city of Fort Wayne. And they're putting it in because they say, well, you know, that Miami tribe out of Oklahoma, they bought some land over there in the far west, the west section of Allen County. It's out there on Fritz Road. Well, there's no utilities, and there probably never will be. There's you can't get much utilities out there. It's out in the middle of nowhere. All they're going to build a casino. That's the false flag they're raising, in my opinion. That's my opinion. It's a false flag. Well, we got to do it because they'll build a casino, and they'll keep all the money because the Indian casinos don't give money to the state, just so you know. Those are the rules. We want a state casino, so we get money. That's all this is about, getting money. So they've got to locate a casino in the city of Fort Wayne. Where? Where could you locate a casino in Fort Wayne, Indiana? Well, let's see, downtown? Remember that one city block they wanted to do, getting rid of the Taco Bell and the Euros place? Talking about putting an auditorium down there for the Mad Ants, back when the Mad Ants were still playing basketball here. Well, that's one city block. Yeah, it'd be nice for a casino, but where are you going to park people? There's the problem. No parking. So, got to figure out some other place inside the city limits to put a casino. Now, casino, if you're going to ask someone to come in, a company, let's say Trump Company. I'm going to use Trump just as an example. The Trump people to come in and build a casino in Fort Wayne. Where is the people in that company going to say we want the casino located? If they're smart, they're going to say, well, we want it right next to an interstate. We want people to be able to see it when they're driving around. We want great access with roads to get to that casino. We want to have special amenities around that casino in that area, like grocery stores and restaurants and, hey, maybe even a hospital near there and lots of hotels in that area. That's where we want a casino. And boy, if you could get a casino located by two interstates, crossing interstates, woohoo! Put it right there. That would be perfect for a casino. Now, I'm just spitballing here. I'm just spitballing. But where in the city are you going to locate that? Oh, and the other thing is the biggest concern. This is the biggest concern. Where do you have sufficient utilities? Utilities. Above ground, underground. Casino's going to need a lot of power, so they got to have a big substation nearby, feed plenty of power to them. Where are big substations located in the city of Fort Wayne? Inside the city limits. Ask yourself that question. So just some of the questions I'm asking on a casino talk. Today's edition. And yes, the only thing I'm asking for the people in media to do is to the politicians they talk to, ask them flat out, are you going to allow a referendum for the people of Fort Wayne, the voters of Fort Wayne who will have to endure having a casino? Will you allow them to vote on whether they want it? Simple question. They get that done. Let's see what the people think. If the people want it, bring it on. If they don't, find another idea to raise money. Just saying. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this edition of Cable Talk and have yourself a great day and see you soon.